President Trump's former campaign manager stonewalling the House Judiciary Committee as its first official impeachment hearing turned into a spectacle.
Mr. Lewandowski, is it correct that as reported in the Mueller report on June 19, 2017, you met alone in the Oval Office with the president? I said,
is there a book and page number you can reference me to, please? I don't have a copy of the report in front of me.
Corey Lewandowski never worked for the Trump administration, but that didn't stop the White House from instructing Lewandowski to limit his testimony to what was covered in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report.
Congressman, the White House has directed I not disclose the substance of any discussions with the president or his advisors to protect executive branch confidentiality. And I recognize this is not my privilege, but I am respecting the White House's decision.
The White House blocked other former White House aides, Rob Porter and Rick Dearborn, from testifying at all.
I think we should call this what it is, an absolute cover-up by the White House.
After slamming the investigation in his opening statement,
as for actual collusion or conspiracy, there was none. What there has been, however, is harassment of this president from the day he won the election.
Lewandowski did acknowledge that President Trump asked him in 2017 to deliver a message to then Attorney General Jeff Sessions, asking Sessions to limit the Mueller probe and not investigate the Trump campaign.
President Trump was hounding you about when are you going to deliver that message, correct?
Completely inaccurate, Congressman.
Well, he asked you about it a few times, didn't he?
No, he did not.
He never asked you whether or not you had delivered that message?
Not on multiple occasions, no.
One occasion, okay? He did mention it on one occasion to you.
I don't know if that's in the report, sir, or not.
Lewandowski tried to arrange a meeting with Sessions at Lewandowski's office rather than the Justice Department.
Well, Jeff and I are friends socially, and I want to have the opportunity to have a meal with Jeff and relay the conversation which the president asked me to ask Jeff to consider giving.
The meeting never happened, and Lewandowski never delivered the message, but he claims the president's request was above board.
You didn't think that was illegal to obstruct justice?
Congressman, the president asked me anything illegal.
But the defiant former Trump aide refused to divulge much more.
Well, then don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear my answer.
My time. This is a House judiciary, not a House party.
Lewandowski's behavior got a rise out of Democrats.
Mr. Lewandowski, you are about like a fish being cleaned with a spoon. It's very hard to get an answer out of you.
While Republicans leapt at the chance to bash the Russia investigation and their Democratic colleagues.
This committee has become the search party for impeachment.
And Lewandowski piled on.
Congressman, I think they hate this president more than they love their country.
Tak oke ya. Satu buat kesehatan, buat secara umum buat pemandangan macam itu. Sebab kalau buat kesehatan mata sakit.
I want to bring back former CIA counterterrorism official Phil Mudd. So you heard that, Phil. Yeah. According to the letter from the general counsel from McGuire's office, the complaint was about stakeholders within the executive branch and involves, quote, potentially privileged matters. Translate that for us.
Let's differentiate between intelligence, what's going on in Russia, North Korea, and dirt. Let's say there's a dispute between some people in the intel community and the White House. Stakeholder? White House is a stakeholder. That's potentially privileged information. I suspect that this relates to embarrassing stuff within the intelligence community in Washington maybe related to a place like the White House, not related to stuff like North Korea and Iran.
Take a listen to Congressman Schiff. He's the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, talking to CNN.
The DNI acknowledged that this involves someone apparently outside the authority of the DNI, someone above the DNI. There aren't that many in that category.
Again, translate that for us.
Who's above the DNI? I mean, nobody in the intel community. That's, again, got to be a White House person. It's certainly not a member of Congress. And you know what this ends up with? And Schiff is pointing out to us, rock and a hard place. McGuire, the guy involved in the DNI, is a good guy. I know him a little bit. My friends think he's terrific. He's stuck between his boss, the White House, the executive branch, and the guy, Adam Schiff, who's supposed to get the whistleblower stuff. And I'm sure McGuire is saying, what the heck am I supposed to do? Why don't you guys figure it out?
But isn't it just the law that they have to turn over the information, or at least or appear in person and explain why not?
You would think so. And if I had to bet in Vegas, and I am a bettor, I would bet that eventually this stuff comes out and McGuire turns it over. But there's got to be a dispute, I think, between whether the information is appropriate to pass over, whether it complies with the law. The problem here is the general counsel is a political guy. The inspector general is not. Who would you trust here, Jake, in terms of being impartial? I'm going to take the side of the inspector general.
Does this concern you at all? What's going on here?
It concerns me a bit because if you put it in context of the White House systematically telling Congress, screw you, we're not telling you anything, this fits into that context. It's also, again, I know people outside the Beltway don't know McGuire. He's a decorated SEAL. This is a good guy who's stuck. It concerns me because another good man is caught in a White House problem.
All right, Phil Mudd, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
El presidente Trump se encuentra en la frontera entre Estados Unidos y México. Fue a una visita en California y estaba mostrando, iba a llegar video de él en Otay Mesa, pero publicó este mensaje en su cuenta personal en Twitter, en español. No más falso asilo, no más detener y soltar, no más entrada ilegal en Estados Unidos. Necesita un mejor intérprete o traductor, alguien que le redacte mejor en español, pero pues ese es el mensaje que está dando el presidente, quien hace un par de días dijo que iba a ganar Nuevo México con el voto hispano.